You may already be a winner. Darn you, Ed McMahon, I could smack you for messing with me like that. It's big phony checks like yours that make me not want to read my mail. But then it's viewers like you who make it all worthwhile. It's Viewer's Choice on Cheat, and it starts right now. Cheat, where we ignore all the rules. I'm Kristin Holt, and in this episode, we're digging deep into the old cheat mailbag to see which games are giving you the grief. We'll cover everything from Lost Planet to World of Warcraft. But before we begin, man your battle stations! Battlestations Midway takes you all the way back to the beginning of the United States' first involvement in World War II. After the attack on Pearl Harbor, President Roosevelt declared a state of war against the Empire of Japan.
I have directed that all measures be taken for our defense.
But this ain't no Michael Bay movie, and there's no awkward love triangle with Affleck losing Beckinsale to his best friend Hartnett, then Beckinsale having Hartnett's baby, but Affleck having to raise it because Hartnett decided to die. No, none of that crap. In this game, you follow Henry Walker as he rises in rank during the Battle of the Pacific. So man up, soldier, it's time to go to war. The Battle of Tulagi was a strategic and vital mission to overtake enemy bases on the Solomon Islands. You have 4 tasks: destroy the airfield hangar, destroy the seaport, make sure the Yorktown carrier survives, and accompany at least 3 crafts to shore. This mission is very tough because your base of operations is off the carrier while the enemy has land to work around and is able to set up defenses. You start off with 2 destroyers and a carrier. A team of B-17 bombers will accompany you, but you have only 1 shot with these bad boys, so use them wisely. Use your carrier crew to build 3 squadrons of torpedo bombers and 1 team of dive bombers. And FYI, these planes are equipped with machine guns, so they can do some serious damage on oncoming enemy planes. Now, send your B-17s to destroy the airfield and your 2 destroyers to fight off the approaching vessel. Taking out the hangars eliminates the enemy's air combat capabilities, thus shifting their offense to a sea battle only. After destroying the first enemy cruiser, a second one near the smaller island will come after you. Some tactic, baby. 2 on 1, he's got no chance.
She's sinking!
Send your dive bombers after the shipyard. They'll cause heavy damage, but not enough to destroy it. Use this to your advantage, because if the shipyard is destroyed, the second phase of this mission will start. Your transports will arrive, and protecting them can be very difficult. After all, you will be facing 6 enemy ships. It's a recipe for disaster. You want to keep this seaport intact until you've secured the area. Besides, you have 4 cruisers with their sights set on Yorktown. Send both the destroyers and the torpedo bombers to sink their fleet. Trap the enemy between both your ships and begin raining havoc from air and sea. With everything wiped out, begin clearing out the island. Blast the docks, the enemy housing, the fortress, and the flak guns. Destroying the enemy cargo ship on the docking station will also complete your hidden objective.
She's heading for the coral.
Finally, send a boat to destroy the enemy shipyard to begin Phase 2 of the operation. As your transport ships begin approaching, the Japanese will send a destroyer and a battleship for a final counterattack. They'll concentrate on the transport ships, so begin by double-teaming the enemy destroyer first. Then send everything you've got at the much stronger battleship. A few torpedoes should do the trick. You've now completed all objectives, but this battle is far from over. Lost Planet is another game that brings us tons of mail. For a guy who can't remember where he's been, Wayne Holden sure gets around. Once you've conquered the single-player challenges, you might want to check out the multiplayer options. Take these tips before you do. So you beat Lost Planet single player, huh? You've defeated the snow pirates, bested the beasts, and toppled the corrupt evil government. Now you're looking for the real challenge. Well, look no further, because Lost Planet multiplayer is all it's cracked up to be. There are 4 basic types of games. Elimination, which is basically a deathmatch Lost Planet style. Secure your victory by making the most kills within the time limit. Team Elimination, which is, you guessed it, Team Deathmatch. Kill off as many team opponents as possible to take the prize. Post Grab, which is Territories in Disguise. In this game, you need to capture and control data posts to secure your victory. Whichever team initializes the most data posts wins. And finally, Fugitive. In this game, the host becomes the hunted, while all other players do the hunting. To win, the fugitive must evade the hunters until the time limit is up. There are a variety of maps as well, but for the discriminating gamer, the following combinations produce the best matches. Try Elimination with the Dark Town map. This map is full of close proximity platforms, cool hiding places, and vantage points to keep the aggression alive. Both sniper rifles and automatics work well in this arena, but if you want to spice things up a little, try adding the rocket launcher. If Team Elimination is your game, try the Training Facility map. It's big enough to get down and dirty in a VS, but still small enough to see the whites of your opponent's eyes. Take advantage of the crawl spaces under the boxes for cover while you plan your enemy's demise, or snipe them from atop the stacks. For a larger scale game, try Post Grab with Canyon 810. The best way to get around in this frozen tundra is to commandeer a mini VS. Push the Y button to turn it into a jet car. If you get into a scrape, push the Y button again and face your enemies on your feet. The rocket car allows you to get between data posts quickly if need be. But beware, they aren't very good at standing up to the firepower of a full-size GTB-22 VS. Now for some quick battle tips to help ensure your survival in the Lost Planet multiplayer multiverse. First, make sure you grab as many data posts as possible. They're present in every game, even if they aren't relevant to the objective. They'll earn you a lot of extra points for leveling up, so take advantage. Next, when battling an enemy VS, be sure to keep moving. If you stop moving, you will die. End of story. Try shooting your grappling hook into the VS and planting a grenade. The closer you get it to the cockpit, the more damage it'll do. Additionally, remember that both gum grenades and disc grenades are your best friends when it comes to defeating mechs. Try to avoid self-inflicted deaths at all costs. When ejecting from a damaged VS, get away as quickly as possible. If you don't, it'll count as self-inflicted and end up costing you a lot of battle points. So get to it! Lost Planet multiplayer is just waiting to be found. And remember, play me! I like to think of Cheat as a boy toy. You might not always need one, but you're glad it's around when you do. We have lots more viewer requests when Cheat returns, but first here's a quick cheat for the player pack from those mad geniuses at Gameavision. If you've picked up the player pack for your favorite home console, make sure to check out Floating Space Rocks. Here you'll find that you're Earth's last hope for protection from ominous space detritus that floats towards the planet at a pace that can only be called dangerously glacial. You'll also battle against the Red Planet, an evil rock filled with the spirit of communism on its way to redistribute all of Earth's wealth. For extra fun, destroy all the space rocks, but allow Mars to crash into Earth on Stage 9 to unlock a mode where you play as Mars.
You're in G4's video game mashup. Now, Cheat.
Tonight on Attack of the Show. Viral videos have taken over our lives and we love it. That's why we've packed the top 25 viral videos of our time into one show. It's all the dog humping, disgusting dares, and dumbasses you can fit into 1 hour. It's Attack of the Show, tonight at 7 and 11 p.m. Eastern.
Welcome back to Cheat's Viewer Requestathon. So many viewers write to me asking for fighting game tips. They'll ask me things like, Kristin, how'd you get so good at Virtua Fighter 5? And I tell them Virtue had nothing to do with it. Ouch. Virtua Fighter 5 has finally made its way onto the PlayStation 3. The fifth installment not only packs a punch with its intense action, but delivers beautiful next-gen graphics and stunning character animations in detailed environments. Look, it's so pretty. There are 17 of the world's best fighters entering this tournament, with El Blaze and Eileen being the new kids on the block. El Blaze has a reputation for defeating every opponent he's ever faced with his lucha libre fighting style. He's tired of watching Wolf, the dominant force of the heavyweight division, take all the glory. It's time for El Blaze to show the world what he's worth. Unlike the brutally powerful wolf, luchadors rely more on speed and finesse to take down their enemies. Blaze has an arsenal of moves, from drop kicks, suplexes, 450 splashes, and tosses. His strongest move is called the Deja Vu. Here's a few hints. It has nothing to do with the ride at Six Flags, Denzel time traveling, or the black cat from The Matrix.
KO!
People have a tendency to block when a fighter is running at them, but be careful because this wrestler can grab you if you decide to try and defend yourself. Push forward and press the punch, kick, and guard buttons all at the same time to start your run. Then press the punch and guard button when you're close to him to perform this move.
Punch dog!
Ain't she a beaut?
Beyond all imagination!
Eileen, the other new fighter, was raised by her grandfather after losing both her parents at a young age. She studied monkey kung fu and entered this competition in order to seek her idol, Pi. Eileen is lightning quick, but very weak. She relies mostly on combos and juggles in order to defeat her adversaries. Your goal is to break your challenger's guard in order to start your barrage. Use the charging punch, the rising double kick, and the flip punch when they're crouch blocking in order to break their defense and start one of your combos. If the guy decides to stand up, you can always do a monkey flip into a throw by pressing punch and guard after the spin. Using these juggles will also help you defeat your opponents in quest mode, as well as collect some cheddar, emblems, and items. See that? Here in TV land, we call that a transition. Your goal in quest mode is to rank up as quickly as possible by winning championships and tournaments, defeating all your rivals without losing, collecting all the emblems, and gathering all the items. Your rivals are scattered in different arcades. Defeating them, as well as players in a higher class, will increase your rankings. So if you end up facing a noob or a scrub in a lower class, just exit the match because you won't get anything out of it.
Ring out!
If for some reason you're losing badly to one of the more skilled players, you can always quit before you lose. Bailing out won't affect your win-loss record, so do so as you please. Item battles are always great because you can win things like hairstyles or clothes. By winning accessories in tournaments and buying items with gold, you can unlock different sets of accessories and increase your ranking as well.
Bye-bye!
Come on, Mama needs some bling. Yes, ruby earrings. Look at that, so adorable. Guess what's back? Besides high gas prices and wide lapels, the cheat sheet. Yep, just point your browser to g4tv.com/cheats for over 15,000 tips and tricks and codes covering every platform since the Atari 2600. We'll be back with more viewer requests right after the break, but first check out this quick cheat for Call of Duty 3. There's nothing wrong with exploiting games in order to boost your gamer cred. In Call of Duty 3 for the Xbox 360, the Hot Potato achievement rewards you with 25 gamer points for throwing back enemy grenades. An easy way to gain the 25 is to simply toss your own grenade on the floor, pick it up, and chuck it at the enemy. Do this 5 times and the achievement is all yours.
I'm Layla Kaylee and this is The Feed. A video of Halo 3 gameplay has been leaked. While the video gives gamers a taste of Halo 3's multiplayer functionality, it doesn't appear to be from the demo version. The video shows off several new weapons and vehicles. The Xbox 360 public beta kicks off next month. Chinese pirates have pawned Spider-Man bootleg copies of the upcoming blockbuster surfaced in Beijing market stores for $1. There's even a label in Chinese on the package warning against pirating the film. Oh, what a tangled web. And finally, the Huffington Post, Slate, and Yahoo will sponsor 2 online presidential debates. The first ever events will allow candidates to participate from separate locations over the web. PBS talk show host Charlie Rose will moderate. Well, that's all for now. Visit us on the web at g4tv.com/thefeed. It's the only news you need to know. I am Layla Kaylee, and you've been fed.
Welcome back to Cheat's Viewer Request-a-Palooza. With its infinite playing space and all those updates, World of Warcraft manages to stump a whole new crop of gamers every season. Cheat is here with an unbeatable strategy for the Steam Vault. The Steam Vault is one of the early dungeons you'll tackle near level 70. And it's always fun taking a dive into the Coil Fang Reservoir. So listen up, because here's what you need to know about the Steam Vault. Begin by clearing the area, including the Bog Lord to the right. You'll need the room as you make your next couple of pulls. You're facing sirens, who silence casters and fear those in melee range. Keep heading forward, and remember to clear a large enough space as you deal with the sirens. Once you've passed the puddles of water, move up the ramp. This is where you'll meet the first boss, Hydromancer Thespia. Thespia is a tough broad and casts some amazingly powerful spells. But before you fight her, you'll need to first kill the 2 water elementals. They'll go down quick, but they also deal some pretty good damage, so take them out as fast as you can. First, you have to watch out for her Storm Area effect, which can kill a player with a couple of ticks. Run for your life when you see a cloud over your head. She'll also cast 2 damage overtime effects called Lung Burst and Enveloping Winds. If you're lucky enough to survive, collect your loot, activate the control panel, and move on. Move up the ramp, eliminating everything in the way. The doors just ahead of the large platform are closed. No worries, you'll be back later. Skip the groups to the left. They're optional. Move across the bridge. From here, you'll start to encounter the Slave Masters. The trick is the same. Once you kill the Slave Master, the slaves will run away. Continue through the hall until you see large groups of leper gnomes. Now, don't be lenient just because they're adorable. They'll all come attack you at the same time, so be prepared to launch some AoE attacks. After pulling 2 groups of leper gnomes, it's time to face the second boss, Mechgineer Steamrigger. This battle is all about endurance, so the trick is to outlast your enemy. First, have your tank engage him and face him away from the rest of the party. The fight is a basic tank and spank fight until Steamrigger mechanics start appearing. When this happens, immediately attack them and pull them away, or they'll continue healing the Mechgineer. Keep up this routine and bring down the Transformer impersonators. Collect your loot and activate the second control panel. Return to the large doors, and this time, they'll be open. You'll be dealing with a lot more casters now, so remember to find a spacious area. After clearing the way, it's time to meet Warlord Calathresh.
Your head will roll!
This fight is really gonna keep you on your toes. It begins as a standard attack, but soon Calathresh will begin channeling energy from a nearby water tank. Now the group needs to focus all damage on the water tank and break it before he can finish channeling. If he completes the energy transfer, he'll become supreme and enraged, making the fight difficult or even impossible. So stay on target and use everything you can to break the water tanks. Keep Calathresh dehydrated, and soon you'll be staring at his corpse. Congratulations! You've now completed the Steam Vault. If you've also completed the quest to Warlord's hideout, it's twice the joy. Stick around, we're taking Battlestations Midway online with Xbox Live when Cheat returns after the break. But first, check out this quick cheat for Rockstar Table Tennis. Why bother hauling that dusty old ping pong table out of the basement when you can have just as much fun with Rockstar Games Presents Table Tennis on your Xbox 360? And while we're feeling lazy, who wants to go through the entire game to get all the players? Entering this cheat will unlock all the characters in the game. Now it's just a matter of deciding who looks better in short shorts.
You're in G4's video game mashup. More Cheat is up next. This show also available on podcast.
Welcome back to Cheat, where it's all about you, the viewer. For the next few minutes anyway. Battlestations Midway definitely tops this week's viewer mail, and most of you seem to need a little help in the online environment. So circle up, sailors. Man your battle station. With Battlestation Midway on the Xbox 360, that is, take the Pacific War to the next level by challenging your fellow gamers on Xbox Live. One of the hardest online maps is the Battle for Solomon Islands. This was the U.S. Navy's second major engagement with the Imperial Japanese Navy, and you can play either side. The Japanese are situated defensively on 2 islands. They have 2 airport hangars on the main island and 2 shipyards on the smaller island. The Americans have just one island with 2 seaports, but you also have 2 carriers offshore to tangle with the Japanese air support. The map is very big and the teams are fairly balanced, with the US having a slight advantage. Unlike the fixed positions of Japanese air hangars, the carriers housing the US Air Force are mobile. Here are my tips for kicking some ass online style. If you happen to choose the American side, quickly begin deploying warplanes. Break the 2 carriers away from each other and hide them. Now begin building up your Navy. You have the choice of Renown, Fletcher, Narwhal, or Northampton class. Never mind the submarines, stick to the battleships, destroyers, and cruisers for this one. Use your map to guide your forces. Take control of your vessel or jet if and only if there's an enemy encounter. Send 3 ships to the middle and 1 battleship or cruiser to the right of the map to avoid enemy detection. Now, send 4 squadrons to the middle to protect your ships from oncoming enemy planes. Fly your dive bombers to the left side of your map to keep them hidden. With all your troops advancing through the middle, the opposition has no choice but to meet you there. Assign your ships and planes to attack the enemy.
Enemy air forces are inbound.
While all that chaos is going on, move the ship you've stored away at the edge and attack the seaports. Use the same tactic with the dive bombers and attack enemy airplane hangars. Your dive bombers won't do a great deal of damage, but your destroyers sure will. The artillery strikes will annihilate his naval production and leave him with whatever ships he has left. Sink any remaining cruisers to keep them out of your way and head towards the airfields.
She's had it.
Remember to constantly call on reinforcements when one of your planes or ships goes down. Always protect your seaport by leaving a few teams behind. Now, finish the job.
We've destroyed the enemy airfield.
The same tactic can be used if you're the Japanese. However, creating a submarine is a plus because not only is it undetectable, but it can sink the American carriers. Remember, this is a big game of chess, and you have to be the aggressor. By sending most of your forces through the middle, your opponent has no choice but to meet you in the battlefield and concentrate on that one point. Operate outside of enemy sight and go for the strike. The carriers will take longer to defeat because they're mobile, but by destroying the American naval capabilities first, that will leave the Air Force very vulnerable. Victory never tasted this good. And that would appear to be it. If you missed any of these tips, visit us on the web at g4tv.com/cheat, or you can write to us at cheat@g4tv.com. Until next time, I'm Kristin Holt, and you've been cheating.